because every relationship offers a new pain point. Now, there are some repeats, as you're aware, that you go, oh, yeah, I've experienced this before. It's the same ending again. But there's also brand new ones that come up. And you have to ask yourself, is is this still applicable now? Or can I feel safe being vulnerable here? Can I
So,
feel safe, allowing this type of love into my life?
well, I mean, really, it comes down to I think that's the same question of saying, am I willing to let go of this limiting belief to give space to a love relationship again?
Well, you have to first know that you have to even know what the term limiting belief means. You
Yeah,
have to
well,
first
absolutely,
understand
absolutely.
the
But
term.
the limiting belief is the glass. So we've sort of described that. The limiting belief is not being chosen for the dodgeball game. I mean the limiting belief is standing against the wall at in the dance and then watching everyone else dance and you not right. It the question is, are you willing to almost like plow through that limiting belief to get to the other side?
Well, and it's not even plow because that word implies a lot of work. I had a client once, and this is a beautiful story. Had a really hard time. You give the dance analogy. He just couldn't understand that anybody would be interested in him because he didn't see himself in that light. And I said to him, George, I want you to imagine that there is at least two women in this bar, and they've told me that they're very interested in you. And he goes, yeah, but they didn't. I said, that's not the point. I want you to imagine that two women came to me and said, I'm so interested in George. Not his real name, by the way. I'm so interested in George. And he says, okay, I'll try it. And I said, not try it. I want you to believe it. There are two women in this bar tonight that really want you to speak to them. That's it. Like, we're not going to go any further. They just want to have a conversation with you. And he goes, Tiff, I had the best time. You'll never believe. And I love it when a client comes back to me and says, you'll never believe, because I go, oh, yes, I will. And he says he wound up having conversations with four different women over the course of the evening, and they were all really fantastic conversations. And he said he felt like some other type of energy was birthed within him that facilitated those conversations. And I said, it's
Right.
just the belief that
Yeah.
people wanted to have a conversation with you.
All right. Well, so in that situation, you reframe the belief that instead of no one wants to talk to me in this, event, there's two people that want to talk to me.
Yeah,
And it's
multiple.
actually okay, well, in this example, like I like the two thing because it's like, listen, it is not true that no one wants to talk to me in this event. There's no way that's not the case. It is actually more likely true that a couple people in here would like to talk to me, but that takes a new belief, right? Like replacing a limiting belief with a new belief. And that takes in, what the big thing, I mean, I think the challenge is having that internal dialogue, which, around this, being able to have that internal dialogue that changes the frame. I mean, the other day, someone challenged me to actually name my brain. So name it.
What did you name it?
So I, I'm going to make up a name now. I haven't named it, but I don't know, Gary.
Yeah. Okay, Gary.
Just pick a name, right? So name your brain, and when your brain's getting in your way, right, limiting beliefs, right, negative, dark side thinking, right, you say, listen, hey Gary, you know there's two people in this room that actually wouldn't mind talking to me. How would you show up differently if you thought two people in this room do want to talk to me? Well, you might talk to a lot of people to find the two, right?
Right. Right. And also, another thing that I like to explain to clients is you'll know right away if it's not one of them. You don't need to work beyond that. You'll know right away if it's not one of them.
Yeah, which is another dialogue.
Right. You'll
The,
feel that.
again, I will know right away if I found one of the people that wants to talk to me.
Yeah, you'll know it. It's like a
It's the
spiritual two by four. Hits you right over the head.
I mentioned like leaning against the wall and seeing other people in the middle school dance, and having that dialogue of realizing life delivers to us infinite opportunities for embarrassment. So what we really should do is just be embarrassed more, like go enjoy embarrassment. Like the best thing you could do in that example would be to go out on the dance floor and dance alone, right?
Well, and
Like
just enjoy that. Enjoy that.
enjoy
Yeah.
enjoy that, like the life experience of the process. And I mean, there was a lot of people on the dance floor who were just dancing with a bunch of their friends, like all this, we called them soshis, that would be dancing together, the cliques, if you will, that would be dancing together. But with me and my friends, we were just, all of our eyes were on this like one or two women, girls inside that, not women, but these two girls, and we wanted to dance with just them, right? Like so picky, and the rule set was so high that we would rather not dance with anyone unless we could dance with them.
And think about how much you're missing out on as far as
Yeah,
chemistry,
absolutely.
because you're
Now,
putting
no, let's
chemistry
run it
into
out.
an
Now you're
external package.
now you're 60 years old and you're still not, you're still leaning against the wall. You've got all the money in the world. You've acquired all the trappings of success. You are significant in the eyes of many, right? You have certainty and predictability in your life, but in that one area, you're not willing to risk it.
Yeah, and I see that. That's probably what I see the most often is people that have accomplished incredible success. They also buy into societal norms of what success looks like on a human physically. And it's amazing what love will do to transform that vision of what um, beauty looks like. When you start tapping more into love, you tend to fall for people you never would have thought. What if you only go for someone who's tall or someone who's blonde or someone who has this perfect smile, and all of a sudden you fall in love with someone that has a little bit of a crooked tooth and you actually love it because you are more invested in that feeling that you have with them than you are on how other people view you standing next to that person.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
That's
can say
rough.
there, there are some celebrities out there where you mainstream society would say, why is he still with her?
Well, you and I know why.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
and I know
absolutely.
why. Because they
Yeah,
found the it factor and they don't give a damn what anyone else thinks about it because they have the golden love that they have searched for their whole lives and they honestly do not care what they write, what's written about them. They don't care what people say about them and they live their lives honorably and they have this thing that we're talking about right now that so many people want to find, and it's just about learning to go about it in a different way, learning to go about who you pick at the dance, because like you said, you're looking at two women. There are so many women at that dance, at the dance of life. They're everywhere. They could be the barista. They could be the person that you bump into in the elevator. They could be someone you happen to be sitting next to on your first class flight. And do you speak to them? Do you actually have an enjoyable conversation like this is the moment you've been waiting for? I do. I have some really pretty amazing, juicy conversations with people that I sit next to on first class.
yeah. Well, lightning could strike, is what you're saying.
I'm saying I put myself out there for lightning to strike.
Yeah, yeah,
I double dog dare lightning to strike. Ever since I was young, when that storm comes out, I go sit out there and I love watching it roll in. And people say you need to get in the house, and I'm like, well, why? If it strikes me, that's going to be awesome. What if
yeah,
it kills you, Tiff? What if?
yeah.
What if?
There's a great name. I mean, really, if you, I mean, what if? And that, that is an internal dialogue. So, in my opinion, just to kind of sum up this, the internal dialogue is number one, identifying these areas, these hangups. It's I I think you know, eh, being with someone where their biggest fear is abandonment, right? Like it doesn't take long to notice that. in the person you're with if their biggest fear is abandonment. Like it's very obvious, right? Like little things and big things can sort of trigger the person that feels like they're at risk of being abandoned. Although I believe that the trigger is within ourselves. I think we trigger ourselves.
Well, that
Um,
energy of clinging,
yeah,
of holding
yeah,
on so tight
yeah,
is
yeah,
exhausting, and it's not a natural dance for
yeah,
love.
yeah. Well, this has been great. I really, really appreciate this conversation. I think that, if we can start to like unravel or skin uh, the negative, the dark side thinking, the limiting beliefs that we have almost hardwired into our life over a lifetime. I think we open up the door to an access to love or a caring relationship again. And that is the first step.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the beauty of what we're offering right now. These really sacred spaces of being able to work together with us to be able to see a holistic 360-degree view of how you can do that based on what both you and I bring to the table. So, for those of you listening that are interested, you know how to find us.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks.